So again, happy afternoon to everybody. It's a very nice, it's a pleasure for us to be here and to cooperate with the Thursday Talks in the Biorefine Cluster. My name is Anastasia Peruli. I'm here on behalf of the BioEast Hub of the Czech Republic. And today we are going to do something a little different from what we did the first hour. So instead of going through, in the first hour, we had a very nice look on the scientific developments from the project, but on the second half, we will get a more rounded overview, also including in the picture the policies that shape these actions and vice versa. So we'll have a very nice selections of invited speakers that we will go through specific topics. More specifically, we will go through the EU Bioeconomy Agenda, the Bioeconomy Strategy, the Ocean Pact, all these policies that shape the decisions we're making on the ground, and how the actions that are implemented and are actually reflected in the strategies, and comment on these topics. So not for me to give any huge overviews, just some instructions of how the discussion will go. I will invite the speakers to start one by one and give each 5 minutes to develop their own topic. This should take about half an hour just to leave us more room for discussion. And in the meantime, if there are any questions from the audience, please put them in the chat the moment the speaker is developing the topic, so you don't forget about it later. And we will address all the questions at the end to make sure that we have time for everybody. So without further ado, I will introduce my colleague and leader and organizer of the thematic working group of Freshwater of the BioEast Initiative, Mari Kubankova. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Anastasia. I would like to thank very much to Marcela and to her colleagues to make this possible. It was said in the beginning that this Thursday talk, the second part, is organized with the support of BioEast Hub Czech Republic. That it's the first fully operating bioeconomy BioEast Hub, established as a working tool of the BioEast Initiative. BioEast Initiative is a political initiative of 11 countries that was established 10 years ago with a focus on bioeconomy and to support the involvement of Central and Eastern European countries into international collaboration and EU activities in general. In order to be operative, the BioEast Initiative established working bodies on the national level. So there were more national BioEast hubs that are being formed currently. And there were thematic priorities that were set as important for the whole region, freshwater being one of them. Our thematic working group was established in 2020, and from the very beginning, we tried to articulate the importance of fresh water. If you look into the map, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, it's a deadlocked country. So, of course, the policy support aquaculture is important for us. I don't have time to go into the details. We are sharing with you a presentation online for our thematic working group. Very briefly, what we're doing and how we're operating. We are developing thematic strategic research and innovation agenda, where we gathered national priorities that we are communicated through the BioEast Initiative, through the national government, to talk about priorities, as I said, in the freshwater topic. We are also organizing these policy expert discussion where we invited important policymakers. We're very lucky that we have representative of the Water Mission for this policy expert discussion where we can talk and discuss priorities. Why Bioeconomy Strategy? You know that it was renewed and released on the 27th of November last year. Why is it so important for us? Well, because BioEast Initiative was taken the bioeconomy as its priority. Those of you who are familiar with the bioeconomy strategy know that it supported a lot of the engagement of or support of technology transfer, engagement of SMEs. What I would like to mention about this strategy is a note about the new Research and Innovation Initiative in the BioEast macro region, Moldova, Ukraine, and Western Balkan countries. This article reflects back to the Hungarian EU presidency that started to initiate or advocate for this research and innovation initiative. It's come back and it's in more detail elaborated on the web pages that you're looking to. There was a BioEast stakeholder manifesto, then the council conclusion that recognized the importance of 4 topics for Central and Eastern Europe, freshwater being one of them. Therefore, we saw that the policy expert discussion focused on bioeconomy strategy is rather important. So Anastasia already introduced you a little bit to what's going on. We have our distinguished speakers whom I would really like to thank for their support and for the participation. And I will give the floor since we would very much like to have time for discussion. Thank you very much. Anastasia, back to you.
Thank you very much, Maria, for the introduction and for introducing the thematic working group and its work. It's really important to have these discussions and this floor to express what is really happening. And with this, we were very good in time. Thank you very much. So we're moving on with the next speaker, which is Martin Kovac, who will present the Water Soil Climate Nexus. Hello, Martin, can you hear us?
Yes, hello, good afternoon. So I will put on my presentation and just please let me know if you see it. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, yes. And now, do you see first slide?
Yes, we can see it.
Thank
Yes,
you
we
very
can see
much.
your slide.
I would like to share with you the experience how important is this water soil climate nexus connection and relation. And in the first slide, there will be only 3 slides. In the first slide, I would like to focus on what is the relation between oceans and fresh water. As you can see, we have many water cycles. We have water cycles over the land, we have small water cycles over the ocean, but very important is the exchange of water between ocean and between the continents. And it is very important if we speak about mission ocean that we speak in balanced way about fresh water and about oceans and about its interconnection, because they are really interconnected in continuity and in the flow of water through clouds, formation of rain, rivers to the oceans and back. And there is a very specific relation when we form and support precipitation. But what is important to say is that the land use impact is very important impact that change hydrology and has an impact on formation of heat islands. So if we have land use and land use changes, we have to monitor what are hydrological and thermal impacts on the change of the territory. And this is our added value that we are really focusing within our thematic working group on these components, what are components of small water cycles, and how we are changing them. But if we understand how we change them, we can form restoration of these water cycles. We can support land rehydration. So this is important if in daily practice we use land and land parcels for production uses, for example, like in agriculture, or for utility uses, like building houses, infrastructure. We need to set up a systematic system for support of ecosystem functions of the land. So Now we can speak about why. Do you see the second slide? Yes, do you see this change? I hope.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. So why water, soil, climate nexus matter? Why it's important? Oh, it's quite, I think we are familiar with WEFE nexus approach, water, energy, food, ecosystems. But very specifically, water, soil, and climate nexus, it is a direct interconnection because what happens on the land, it forms the hydrology. It distributes rainwater that comes to the land. And if we have lack of vegetation of plants and lack of water, heat islands are creating. So this is why it's very important to know what is happening with water, soil, and water retention capacity within specific area and how it interconnects or how it influences finally oceans, because we have relations between oceans, for example, like sea level rise, but on the same time on continents we have problem with decline of groundwater tables. So regeneration of water and soil resources is really key for freshwater regeneration. We can return water back to the continents, and a part of important debate will be this year, because this is water year, on this UN Water Conference, which will be on the end of the year. An important part is not to look only on blue water, but on green water. Green water is a part of small water cycles. This is something what evaporates, evapotranspirates through plants. And this is my last slide. I think it's important how we will transform this scientific and engineering knowledge into the practice. It is very important that, and we have a lot of legislation on the European level, on national level, we have a lot of strategies, but there is very important that if you would like to make these big challenges doable, we have to come down on the local level, because local level really is a base of integrated approach and planning. Within water planning, we have to activate local water planning, which is very important and support soil, climate production and urban planning. If we manage in a good way available rainwater budget within 1 year, we will be successful in our strategies. Cadastral area is really a key for making this planning on local level with local stakeholders. It's very important that this bottom-up approach and stakeholders involvement is activated, and that we will provide the incentives for stakeholders like owners or of the land or farmers. It's very important that once we work with the land, we can really activate this new economy, systematic assessment and financing of soil and landscape ecosystem services, where, for example, common agricultural policy is important, and it's important our approach to regenerative agriculture, regenerative hydrology, but bioeconomy instruments and approach is very important, because this is really about saving nutrients, about really creating this balance within water, carbon, nutrition cycles, and within transformation of solar energy, which is on the land. Local level is really very important, and I'm very happy that thematic working group freshwater-based bioeconomy is contributing on this debate with its contributions and proposals. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Martin, for the introduction. And let's move on to the next speaker, which is Evelina Vasileva, member of the Board of Mission Restore Ocean and Waters. Welcome, Evelina.
Thank you very much. I'm happy, and thank you for the opportunity to be with you. As you said, my name is Evelina Vasileva, and I'm a member of the Mission Board for Mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters. So I will focus in my intervention on the European Ocean Act, expected by the end of the year, and the European Ocean Pact. Starting with the European Ocean Pact, as you know, the European Commission launched it last year. It represents the most ambitious attempt so far to coordinate Europe's ocean-related policies and sectors. The pact set a strategic vision on how Europe envisages the ocean, and it covers major themes such as the blue economy, coastal resilience, ocean health, research, maritime security, and international ocean diplomacy. It actually marked a significant moment in European ocean governance. But how did it evolve? And we know that the pact did not emerge overnight. It was built on a sequence of policy milestones and gradually generated this political, societal, and institutional momentum that led us to this point. The integrated maritime policy was the initial attempt of the European Union to bring coherence to maritime governance. It introduced tools such as maritime spatial planning and sea basin cooperation. And although these tools are useful, they were not sufficient to overcome institutional silos and uneven implementation across the member states. The second milestone arrived in 2019 with the mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters by 2030, which was then known as the Starfish Mission. Now, the mission expanded the European perspective on ocean issues from sector-based approach to systemic approach. Its focus were five pillars, restoring ecosystems, reducing pollution, decarbonizing seas and waters, improving governance, and closing both the knowledge and the emotional gap between citizens and the ocean. It is very important that the mission actually started the link environmental, economic, and social aspects, and set the stage for a more integrated vision. We're actually now entering the deployment phase of the mission, which is a very important step. The third milestone came in early 2024 when the Manifesto for a European Ocean Pact transformed the mission's concept into a more operational agenda, which was structured around the five thematic pillars of the mission. It was developed by Europe Jacques Delors and the Oceano Azul Foundation and supported by a stakeholder group. And I'm proud that myself and Anna Gabrielowicz, my colleague, are members of this shareholders group. So the manifesto gained traction at the highest political level and entered the programs of several political groups during the European elections. This was followed by the political guidelines for the period 2024-2029, where President von der Leyen endorsed the pact and proposed creating a commissioner for fisheries and oceans. And finally, in June 2025, the pact was officially launched at the United Nations Ocean Conference in Nice, and marked the transition from conceptual framing to positioning the European Union as a global ocean actor. This whole process also prompted an important question: what about fresh water? Freshwater, of course, plays a decisive role in shaping marine outcomes. Rivers act as transport corridors for pollution and nutrients. Altered freshwater flows change the dynamics of coastal ecosystems, and plant-based activities influence the health of downstream marine environments. Yet freshwater is definitely not treated as a dedicated priority within the pact. Actually, the word freshwater is mentioned only twice in the documents. Rivers, lakes, and groundwater are not given explicit objectives or targets. The pact does not reference the Water Framework Directive either, confirming that freshwater governance remains outside its legal integration space. Freshwater appears only indirectly through what is called a source-to-sea perspective. And as you know, this perspective acknowledges the protecting of the ocean, ultimately requiring upstream action in river basins. This perspective gained visibility in the related strategies, most notably in the water resilience strategy, which was adopted in 2025, and which prioritizes restoring the water cycle, strengthening freshwater governance, reducing pollution, and building resilience across watersheds. However, because the measures sit outside the Ocean Pact, the linkage between freshwater and marine policy remains associative rather than institutionalized. And this leads us to the central question of implementation. The Ocean Pact represents a major political step forward, but it is not a legislative instrument. Its long-term impact will depend on the forthcoming Ocean Act. It has been announced that it is expected in the end of this year. It is expected to provide the legal basis, the governance architecture, and the coherence mechanisms needed to make the pact operational. It is yet unclear, however, and raises several strategic questions that remain unresolved. What will be the legal form of the Act? How will it align existing directives such as the Marine Strategy Framework Directive and the Maritime Spatial Planning Directive? What financing mechanisms will support its implementation? And critically, will the Act integrate freshwater considerations more directly, or will freshwater continue to sit adjacent to ocean governance? In other words, if Europe wants coherent water-to-ocean governance, the Ocean Act will need to move beyond sectoral coordination and forward to a truly integrated approach. The health of Europe's rivers, coasts, and seas are not separate challenges. They are parts of the same system. Integration would allow Europe to address the entire chain under a more unified policy framework. Only then Europe can deliver a genuinely integrated approach. We have had such discussions in the mission boards, and we think that now is the right time to be proactive and participate in the preparation of the Ocean Act and the public consultations to give a stronger impetus and focus on the integration of freshwater policies. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelina. I didn't want to interrupt you. So thank you very much for the introduction and for giving us the overview. It's a pleasure to have you today. And okay, with this, I would like to move on to the next speaker, Ms. Tahinescu Olteanu Magdalena Andrea, Head of Unit of Maritime Innovation, Marine Knowledge and Investments of DG Mare. Welcome, Andrea.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me here. I would like to share a couple of slides. I think that my presentation comes very well after what the previous speakers already presented, and in fact I was from the very beginning, and in fact I'm happy that I did, because I can do just important links. I hope you can see my slides.
Oh, I can see it. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, thank you.
So we heard at the very beginning research projects, successful ones, and in general, the main objective of research should be to change for better our lives, and that means research to arrive on the market. It's something in each Europe, it's probably not the best, but for the blue economy, and when I'm saying blue and when I'm saying ocean, please consider that we are looking at all sources of water. For sure that in mare, it's fisheries that probably sometimes is associated more with the sea and ocean, but we are looking at all sources of water, including the freshwater one. So Blue Invest, it's an initiative that started in 2019 with the purpose to support innovation to arrive on the market. And you see that we have a cycle. We work with investors, we work with startups, with SMEs, we work with key sectors, and we are offering readiness assistance or fundraising assistance to companies, but also to investors. We are offering capacity building. We have a project pipeline, to which I would like to invite all the relevant projects to come and to submit their ideas here. Maybe they can, if they are quite mature, some investors might be interested, because money is available, and I will present you shortly this. And of course, we are organizing dedicated events. So The community, it's quite important, as you can see, important to have more than 10,300 community members. We offer assistance to an impressive number of beneficiaries, and also we work with a number of coaches. We have currently more than 690 projects in the project pipeline, and the community of investors which is approaching 400. Now, in terms of readiness assistance and also financial assistance beneficiary per country, I put this table here. What is important, aquaculture, combining all sources, is the second sector. It's for sure that the countries that have already an expertise, and I would say a long tradition, they are and know as well, probably from the business point of view, more maturity, were able to have more beneficiaries, but we work and we want to have more also from Central Eastern Europe. And here I'm inviting again is project startup SMEs. Do not hesitate to engage and to work with us. We have success stories, and I would like to invite you to go on the website and check this. We are organizing dedicated events for both investors and companies, and these are the ones that took place last year, in the last part of the year. More to come. And we have a dedicated financial instrument, because blue economy, it's one on the target of the target area under the climate and environmental solution part of the InvestEU. What does it mean? Mean that from different sources, money it's joined, and then the European Investment Fund, it's selecting funds that invest in the blue economy. So we have already 10 funds, and I will be pleased to share these slides, because if you are looking for financing, maybe it will be good to have a look at all of these, because they are looking for good solution in which to invest. Sorry. Now, to facilitate, very easy, it's something quite often used. You have a QR code that brings you directly to the Blue Invest page. And we are going to have a Blue Invest Day that is going to take place during the Ocean Days in Brussels, the first week of March. Very briefly about the Ocean Days, first week of March. It's the third event that is organized by DG Mare and co-organized with other services, and it will be a week-long event inspired by the Ocean Pact. Evelina mentioned previously Ocean Pact, so we want to engage with all the stakeholders that are interested to contribute to achieve the objectives and to contribute to the actions of the Ocean Pact. Of course, I think that blue, it's not only salted, blue, it's also fresh water. So be part of the discussion and engage. It's rewarding. And I put here, just for your information, what we have along the week. I think it's for everybody. And sorry, I think I need some water, but I will finish first. I think it's quite important for you to be present there and to stress the need that, as I said, fresh water to be strongly addressed in the future developments that are going to be related to the Ocean Pact. Why I'm saying this? So again, the QR code, if you want to to register. Evelina mentioned the mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters, and for the European Ocean Pact, with its 6 priorities that you can see here: ocean, competitiveness, coastal island, research, security, and diplomacy. The things already have started, and you have the possibility to contribute. The call for evidence for the European Ocean Act that Evelina mentioned, which is legislation, it's already launched. The deadline, it's 9th of February. Ocean Observation Initiative, again, the call for evidence launch, deadline, end of February. and for the research innovation strategy is going to be launched soon in February. The research innovation strategy, it's looking at the Ocean Pact actions, looking at the needs in terms of research and innovation linked to competitiveness, sustainability, and security. It's quite important that all the stakeholders that are relevant for the freshwater are expressing their interest here, and for sure the need to look at the whole water system in an harmonious way. And here, if I'm looking a little bit back in the bioeconomy strategy that it was mentioned at the beginning of discussion, we see that sometimes I have to admit that the level of the Commission, a better communication would be probably needed. Anastasia, I saw that you raised your hand. I have only 2 slides. I will finish. Now, Ocean Observation Initiative. Previously, it was the project mentioned monitoring, also something extremely important, because if we do not have this monitoring, and I would like to invite again all these projects to contribute to the data that they are collecting, to contribute and to feed in the initiatives that we have, such as EMONET, the European Marine Observation Data Network. Only like this, we will be able to arrive at the top of the iceberg where the digital twin of the ocean is situated, that will allow us to be able to model and to predict. The European Ocean Observation Initiative, it's looking at the digital twin of the ocean, also at the land-sea interaction. So everything which is freshwater has to be there. We had already projects looking at freshwater sources from the point of view of observation, monitoring, already included in the mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters previous work programs. So now, in the future, we have a next MFF. I think it's quite important, stakeholders, but also member states representatives, to be certain then how this is going to be structured. The whole water system is going to be in appropriate way represented. You see that now we have a competitiveness fund where in terms of Horizon Europe is going to be there, and also proposed. I'm reading now what was proposed by the Commission. Things probably are evolving, but I will mention only the official source. So all the financing innovation in this part, but also on the left, national, regional, and partnership plans. Here we are having what is currently Maritime and Fisheries Fund, agriculture, everything which is cohesion policy. We want to support the bioeconomy, we want to support fresh and I would say the ocean with all the sources of water. I think it's quite important to make a pledge for this and to be certain that countries are also asking for adequate financing, because the financing allowed that all the projects that previously presented to be financed. What we need, financing also allowed us to build Blue Invest and to bring innovation to the market. If we want the blue economy to develop in a competitive way, if we want that is making a change in Europe for our lives, for the life of the people working in the sector, and contributing also to the European competitiveness, I think it will be quite important to be adequately supported with the financing in the next period of time. So this is what I want to say. Now I'm looking at, yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know, Anastasia, you wanted to say something, or because I saw you at one point raising the hand.
Just to thank you for the wonderful presentation. No, I was just to notify you for the time.
Okay.
Thank you very much for the interesting presentation. It will be indeed very nice to disseminate it in between the projects also after we close the session. I would like to have it, and we're looking forward to the discussion afterwards. So let's move on to the next speaker. It's Anna Gavrilovic, member of the Board of Mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters. Welcome, Anna.
Hello. Good afternoon for you. For me, it's early morning, 6 in the morning, because I came last night to US. So still, if I miss something, but or if I don't think that I will miss something, But what I wanted to tell first, Evelina and Andrea had a great presentation about Mission Ocean investment and the Ocean Pact. How I see that, as I'm coming from aquaculture and fisheries and worked a lot in development of new technologies, I would like to tell that I think that the previous actions and many actions in this area were to arise awareness and something what is basic. And now Ocean Pact in some balance between economy and environmental sustainability. And now I see that we came to the level that we can go and talk about economical sustainability, but in this case, we have to talk about competencies and to develop them. Just a second, I'm trying to share something. I will share my screen quickly as a part of aquaculture and especially freshwater aquaculture. If it will not work, I'm afraid I tried to open it, but didn't work properly. So I will start from here. I think that you can see my screen, and this red one is freshwater aquaculture. So it is very important, and for BioEast area, freshwater aquaculture is really important. Why I took statistics from 2022 is because of algae production. It is first time that we can see that actually 1/4 part is coming from algae. Many projects concentrated on algae, but I would tell that the technology for algae production is different. Now we have to optimize many of these processes, and as economic sector, aquaculture is valuable, and it has many challenges, and these are challenges mostly of freshwater aquaculture: limited quantities of water, land prices, negative impact on the environment, water quality, climate changes, increased number of diseases, long and unpredictable semi-intensive or intensive farming, and of course that in freshwater aquaculture we are talking about CO2 for the last 10-15 years and talking about the sustainability. But some things were not so close in detail to one economic area. Now I'll come back to mission lighthouses and the goals of or priorities of different areas. As you can see, in Mediterranean basin, we were working on pollution, and mainly pollution. It was pollution and plastic. We all know that there are many more elements that create pollution to the environment, including pesticides, heavy metals, not only nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, and it comes from the industry or agriculture. So we have to work all together, most multidisciplinary, to solve these things even. Also, priority of Danube River basin was marine and freshwater ecosystems and biodiversity. Why I'm talking about this, you will see later. Remember very well biodiversity. I'm maybe critical, but critical because I'm also in this area, and I want the area to be more developed and think much wider and reach as highest competencies as it is possible. So where is aquaculture? Now we know that aquaculture is going up, and it is very important economical sector, and many technologies are developed. So these are traditional technologies, especially this right one. This is most of main aquaculture technology, pond culture that we have in our countries. Some of them are for carp and other species, warm water species, and this is freshwater aquaculture. And these are marine technologies. In marine technologies, or IMTA IMTA story started 20 years ago, integrated multi-trophic aquaculture. This is something that is taken as sustainable. Then we started to talk about recirculation aquaculture system. This is photo of successful recirculation system from 2000. I'm talking about this because now I saw many systems in our area that are not so effective as it was 25 years ago. And when we talk about recirculation aquaculture system that is saving water, there are successful and unsuccessful story because of lack of the competencies. You saw how much money lost the big companies because they didn't have optimized system. These are things that we have to take as a priorities if we want to develop the region. And then if we are talking about these recirculation systems, we had one discussion on BioEast, not one, many more nature-based solutions. We are always inventing new words. So are these new technologies that will help to the environmental sustainability and economic sustainability, nature-based solution? I think yes, but in definition they are not in. So I heard new definition, environmentally acceptable solutions. We are playing with vocabulary more than to help economy. And so last 15 years we are talking about sustainable aquaculture, and recirculation aquaculture are here. Then we came to CO2 cycle, nitrogen and phosphorus, and we developed in freshwater aquaponic systems. And this is, I would tell, sophisticated IMTA. We have opportunities in our areas. It was proven in US, in Europe, still works, but not economically sufficient. So it is actually cleaning water from fish through plant farming. And there were some solutions that I heard today. Then, except this, we have another part, or we can use plant, we can use algae here, we can use algae on the clear water. And then we have different concept of sustainability. I am just switching from photo to photo. We can use biogas facility together or without aquaponic system to remove or to have a zero waste system. Then waste from the processing, and I saw theories about this, also composting, but every case need to have one optimized solution. So many projects are show pilot facilities, but pilot facilities are something that is not top technology. Is it good to spend money when this was already shown that is proven? I'm telling it because I saw it. So we can advance more if we take into account the newest and proved technologies. These are freshwater aquaculture priorities from Declaration of the Future of European Freshwater Aquaculture. And they asked also to include freshwater aquaculture into all regulations. And they also supported Ocean Pact with mentioning we are freshwater aquaculture and please include us. And they are mentioned only once. And aquaculture is mentioned. Same is from FEAP, Federation of European Aquaculture Producers, EATIP from European Aquaculture Society. They told we should not forget that the majority of EU aquaculture is from freshwater, but they have another problems. You see these ponds, and can you tell me what is this? This is aquaculture farm. When we are talking about biodiversity, we don't have solutions mostly. We are just finding or reporting status, and we don't have zero state which we want to reach. This is huge problem for producers. This is according to bird directive, and these are cormorants. I am not sure that it is aquaculture farms. These are cormorants in nature protected area or Kopachki Rit nature reservoir. Is this biodiversity? And we are talking about protection all the time. We didn't sit with the producers and see, can we switch the rules for our producers, because I don't see that it is aquaculture here. Then story at estuaries we had with blue crab. Blue crab is delicious in US. They have measures to protect it. I'll tell you quickly. So it appeared, this is case from Croatia, it appeared in 2004, and we have few blue crabs. Until now,
Anna,
they are
sorry.
farmed. Yes?
Anna, sorry to interrupt you. We will need to stop to move on to the to other speakers if you're concluding.
Okay, yes, I'm concluding this. Why they are farmed, and actually we have problem of biodiversity because we need competencies also. I'm talking about our country and our experience. Everybody is talking invasive, but we didn't find solution for this. So this is also what we have to think in, and in conclusion, I would tell, talk about sustainability, find really optimized new top technologies for our environment or to our restoration of freshwater economy, taking into account all four elements of sustainability by using multidisciplinary approach, and that is based on the real competencies and real one case that is already developed or will be developed together with applied research. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Anna. It was some really important topics that you raised, and the truth is that we have very, very limited time. I wish we had, a lot more to address everything. So thank you very much. Now we will.
Sorry, I have to stop. Yeah.
Don't worry. Okay, so we're moving on to the next part, let's say, of the panel, which is, I will make it extra hard for you because now I want some input from the projects as to how their topics are integrated into the policies and measures that we discussed before. So I will make it extra hard because we're running out of time. So we will need 3 minutes max tops for each project. And I will start with Kostas from Path4Med.
Yes, hello. No worries, I will be very brief because anyway, we had a clear presentation previously. So I'm an agricultural engineer and a hydrologist, and with a background also in soil science. So I mix all these aspects, and in our project, we do a little bit the same because agriculture is a very complex activity. And if we consider all the parts, let's say from crops, livestock, industry, and all the landscape, etc., agroforestry, so it's a very complex environment that has key impacts in water bodies and actually in the ocean. So if we do it right, we can have better quality and better ecological status in all water bodies. If we do the wrong things, this can have very big consequences. But the problem is that can we really know what each action that we are doing, what is the impact in the other parts, let's say. So the pathways are very complex, and we start, let's say, from the soil profile, and we go to the parcels and to the fields, to the rivers, to the lakes, to the sea. So, and we say, okay, we have all these amazing technologies, Earth observation, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and and a lot of sensors and all this stuff and digital twins, but do we really know how we can, with these techniques, identify all the paths and quantify the links between the causes and the effects? So in our project, we try to solve this problem, because this is a key problem, and it's not only about technologies, it's about linking know-how, linking the knowledge of farmers, the knowledge of the researchers of the various fields, very multidisciplinary, and linking the novel techniques like AI and digital twins, etc., in order to finally be able to, in a cost-effective way, monitor what exactly is happening and give the means to the policymakers and to the farmers to do the right actions and make the investments in the right place to have the better impact, let's say, and the greatest impact in our target to have a better environment, let's say. So this is all.
You're just on time, Kostas. Thank you so much for giving the time frame. Thank you. And okay, next project that we would like a comment from, we're going to Martin. Martin is coordinator both of Dalia and EU SDR, but since Dalia was presented before, we would like a few comments on EU SDR from Martin.
Okay, thanks, Anastasia. And actually, 3 minutes is plenty. So the EU SDR is the European Union strategy for the Danube region. I think from the previous presentation and conversations, we could all share the conclusion that it is really important to have like an integrated and transboundary approach, especially with these water-related issues. Now, this is what the EU SDR is trying to do. And especially the USDR has different priority areas. I'm the coordinator with my Slovakian co-coordinator of priority area 4, which is water quality. So at the USDR, we try to provide a platform for different organizations to meet, to have workshops, to create, facilitate joint projects, to be like a hub or a basic foundation for all the future endeavors. To do this, we usually have 3 flagship processes. This changes over time, of course, but right now our flagship processes are adaptation to climate change, emerging substances, and also migratory fishes. This doesn't mean, though, that we are limited to these issues. So all in all, as like a one-sentence conclusion, what the USDR is trying to do is to provide a regional, Danube region-wide platform for all the main actors to meet. Thank you.
Super fast. Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you. And last but not least, we have Alexandra Galisera from the Green Hood project, which was also presented before. Hi, Alexandra, if you're here and you can hear us.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm trying to share the screen. Okay. I'm also going to be quick because, as Paula shared before, the objective of Green Hood. Here again, this is the issue, the nutrient balance and resource optimization in our regional ecosystems. I don't know if the audience is the same, but I put briefly the general objective. The main objective was to demonstrate, as Paula commented, the rebalance nutrient flow and reduce NMP emissions, going through target efforts in regional hotspots and giving methodologies and quality testing in different innovations. The detailed objectives are here, and I think so that Paula commented before, but in a shorter way is ensure co-innovation. The first one, then establish the maximum allowed nutrient inputs. Here you can see in on the right. Demonstrate effective replicants nutrient management. Establish, implement efficient nutrient circular economy. The 5, implement innovative governance model. Here you can see on the right in the graphic with the 4 demo sites. And the last one is ensure dissemination exploitation of the projects with the outputs that commented Paula, the nutrient budget, the governance, and the targeting practice. And what you asked me to highlight here is the link with Greenhood with the bioeconomy, no, in EU level, no. It's important to comment that Greenhoods, we are in the first year of project, of course, but try to contribute to EU Bioeconomy Strategy by advancing nutrient circularity, moreover, enabling innovation, strengthening sustainability with biomass production, supporting rural actor, of course, and develop circular value chains. And mainly to provide this evidence for effective policy implementation. How we can do that? I summarize here in six highlights. No, the resource-efficient circular use of nutrients. Greenhood reduce nutrient losses and promotes nutrient circularity. The second one, innovation and investment in sustainable solutions, because Greenhood develops tools and models that enable deployment of nutrient efficient practices. The third one, sustainable biomass and soil productivity, because Greenhood here improves nutrient retention in agricultural systems. The fourth one, support to rural and primary producers, because here Greenhood co-designs practical solutions with farmer and regional actors. The fifth one, circular nutrient management change and business models. To accomplish that, Greenhood develops governance and business pathways for nutrient recovery and reuse. And finally, the policy evidence for bioeconomy uptake, that is more or less the summary of the other ones. The Greenhood provides data and decision tools to support policy alignment. More or less, this is a summary of you asked for this tour talk. Paula before explained all the Greenhood, the different demos, how they are going, but here more the link with Greenhood with this new bioeconomy strategy at European level. We will see in the next 3 years if we can accomplish all these things. But I think we are in a good way, and the project is very important and crucial to try to establish the nutrient flows in the bioeconomy. That's all. I only prepared 2 slides because we had 3 minutes and I had no more time.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexander. Yes, indeed, that it's a challenging endeavor to feature all these speakers and keep on time, where it's a challenge, as you said. Now, we don't have much time for the discussion, but I would like also to stress a couple of things, because we mentioned a lot about investment and how appropriate financing can be achieved. Andrea commented on that. And I received a comment actually from a member of the thematic working group, and maybe we can comment about it. One is how private capital can be more effectively mobilized for the development of critical water infrastructure, while simultaneously safeguarding access to fresh water as fundamental human right. Now, private capital, I don't know, maybe I feel that this connects a little bit more to what Anna was discussing about mature technologies and sustainability, but I will leave it up to all of the speakers to comment on that if you would like.
Stasia, sorry, I saw Martin. I started because I think to put it very, very clearly, an investor who is going to private investor is going to put money if he's going to have a return on investment. It's simple. So you need to build a business case. You need to associate certain restoration with an economic model, with economic activities, tourism, or to be developed. We tried hard with the mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters, I would say, to attract even philanthropes. And we are today in 2026 with 0 philanthropes. So we have, and I think that there is the interest. As soon that there is a business model created around, it happens. I saw examples in other parts, and probably there are in Europe, but I'm not aware, with restoration of marine protected area that have been associated with sustainable tourism that worked. And we had investments into this. So maybe I think tourism and sustainable one is probably the easiest to be considered. And then is the circularity, the circular economy, when there is the case of the restoration and maybe some pollutants that can, from different fronts, that can be taken to an economic model. So return on investment, and they will come.
Thank you. I saw a hand from Martin before, but I don't know, maybe it's complementarily what Anna wants to add on this. So I will move on to the ladies, Martin, I'm sorry.
I think
Yes,
that
Anna.
Martin has his case. I think that also that we should work on project together with the industry. I know that it is difficult. I work on it for 20 years, and they don't believe us. Why they don't believe us? And that this is a reason why investments is low, because simply we develop some scientific solutions or some case stories, but they already know that they need our help to give them something more. And this is, I have 5 patents with the industry and know how it works. It is very difficult to prove that your solution is really good and that it will work. And on the other hand, we have to think in the same time about their problems. That's why I show cormorant problem, because it is problem for them. They are producing, cormorants are eating, and in order to be economically sustainable, they have to use environmental services, and they have to produce enough to get some money after cormorants, what is rest. So that's why they started recirculation technologies and some combination of technological RAS, recirculation aquaculture, and pond farming. So these are different combinations and we need to offer them. Sometimes we scientists are skilled when science is under the question, but when we have to prove that we can help, then we don't want to sign it. And this is how we have to turn our mind and start working applied projects. So this is my opinion.
Thank you very much. Martin, you also want to comment?
Two sentences. I think there is a great potential for interconnection of financial market and private funds with stakeholders to support land rehydration across Europe. And I think in the past we presented concept of regional carbon and water banks. So we will be very happy to share this concept and maybe to develop it in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. We also have a very interesting comment from your colleague Michal on the chat, who says that rainwater is not a waste. It's a gift from the sky for new life. So yes, it is also a challenge to manage it. We see the phenomena and the weather conditions and the climate changing, and it's becoming a challenge that we will need to manage. Yesterday, as I said, not today or tomorrow, it should be managed yesterday. And another thing that I would like you to comment on, because I know it was one of your inputs, Martin, of how we could possibly merge forces with the CAP. If you would like to comment on that.
I think the biggest challenge for the CAP for the future is to manage all the requirements, rural development, environmental policies, production planning, integrated planning, but at the same time, water resilience. And I think CAP is really in the center of the solutions, involving farmers in the rainwater management and soil protection. And once we will recognize that this is not production part of the business, but this is ecosystem part of the business, we will be much more successful. And I think next week there will be in Brussels EARA meeting about the agriculture, regenerative agriculture. So I think there will be a lot of good comments on this issue. Thank you.
Indeed, Martin, and this also comes to complement a little bit what Evelina was saying about the Ocean Pact not matching with the water directive, but we see that also other policies are feeding into it because it's a big circle and an ecosystem. It's not an isolated issue to tackle. So I don't see any further questions. If there's something that you would like to comment on, otherwise we could conclude. We're past the time, 5 minutes already. So I don't see any hands raised. Maria, any closing remarks from your side? Oh, Anna, I see Anna.
Sorry, just we have to tell all of people that were here today, it is not bad if it is sent a voice for freshwater aquaculture in their area. I know that this is a case for aquaculture, and from previous financing period, I know that some freshwater issues and freshwater circular economy, when some people tried to get aquaponics, didn't work because of marine framework policy directive, and it was not in, and then water treatment technologies were in, but nobody understood that new technologies in aquaculture are also under this water that it is water treatment. So some colleagues simply couldn't prove it, and some projects didn't pass. It was 2017-18. I think that it is better situation now. Andrea maybe knows better, but I'm really not sure. So we are trying and mentioning, but do it from your side, and if each project do it, it will be much better, I think.
The call
Thank
for
you.
evidence, Anna, the call for evidence that are open: Ocean Pact, revision of the Marine Strategy Framework Directive, Ocean Act, sorry, they have to be inputted there from all the relevant stakeholders. The more there are, the better.
Yeah, that's it. So until February 9th, isn't it, Andrea?
For the Ocean Act, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So write something. We are existing and doing something.
Ladies, you did the wrap up much better than I would ever do. One note, our thematic working group provided an input for the consultation for the EU water resilience strategy, life science strategy, and of course, bioeconomy strategy. So I was nodding to Martin that we definitely, thank you very much, Andrea. We definitely provide an input for the consultation that you very kindly inform us about. And I would, me as a leader of the thematic working group, would like to thank you very much for the discussion. A lot has been said. Thank you very much for your support in freshwater. We will, of course, support and articulate the importance for freshwater. That's all from me. Back to you, Anastasia.
I don't have any further comments, just a big thanks to our hosts, the Biorefine Cluster and the Thursday talks. I don't know if we still have them around. Marcela?
Yeah. No, it was our pleasure to co-host this session.
I hope it was interesting also for you and for the audience, and useful to have a bigger picture of what is happening behind all the technologies and the science that is being developed. And hopefully we will have the chance to cooperate again, maybe on another session, another topic at some point.
Definitely.
It will be really a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise.
So thank you everyone for being here and participating so eagerly. We will keep in touch and share with you all the conclusions. Also, feel free if you have any slides that you would like to share, send it to Marcela, to me, and we will distribute it.
Yeah, and the
Okay,
recording will
thank
be
you.
made available online.
And
you.
we will
Perfect.
distribute it on our social
Thank
media
you.
and web pages. Thank you very
Have a
much.
nice
to
Thank you,
all.
everyone. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Have a nice
Thank you.
afternoon. Bye.
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 Bye.